Okay. So welcome. Thank you for taking the time. I assume that you all see this deck I'm showing right now. The reason we are doing those sessions is that there are coming a lot of questions of new users, new members, asking us, how is it actually working? Why are you not exiting the market? Why are you not taking profit? And why are the bots not active, or why are the two active? And there's always a lot of questions around that, and make totally sense, because we probably need to be more transparent and understand better our behind the scene, how things are working, and that's actually the objective of today. So first, we'll start with what is actually the problem that we are solving. And we know the crypto market very well. I think I bought my first Ether in 2015 or 16 for $5. So since then, I'm into the rabbit hole of crypto, and I did a few other things like mining Bitcoins, etc. But we know that the crypto is very volatile market, and we know it's very complex. The technology is complex. To understand what blockchain is and to understand the different coins around and the tokenization around it and what's actually really beneficial or not, it's pretty, you need to do a study and to understand that. And the other thing, if you're already in crypto and you want to trade, usually very often you make the wrong decision because you're emotionally trading. So you take a position when everything goes up, and then you're too late, and then everything goes down, and then you sell with loss, sometimes not, and there's a FOMO, and that impacts you personally. And I know it because I've been there, and that's one of the reasons we developed this system. So we are there to solve those problems. Also really, really important for us is to manage the expectation. First of all, we don't do day trading. We get that question a lot. We are not doing day trading. We're also not perfect. Things are not always working as we want them to work. That's part of the deal. And we don't exit or long position during market corrections. And I know that a lot of people want us immediately, once the market starts correcting, that we exit all position, but that's not how it works. And I'll try to explain today why it's not working as just people maybe expect. But maybe before, just to give you a very brief overview of how Diamond Pig's infrastructure works. So in fact, we have 4 platforms, and each platform has a different role within the ecosystem that we build. On the left-hand side, we have the bot factory, and the bot factory, we feed a lot of data, and then we generate different bots. We generate thousands of bots, and eventually a few will come that we can validate. And after a process that I will go through it in a second, we add the bots that we qualified and validate, we add them to the fund manager platform. A fund manager is the one where the composition of bots per strategy is being is where the bots are there per strategy. And once a trade needs to be executed, the fund manager give orders to the trade execution manager. The trade execution manager is the one who's doing the actual trading into and out of your wallets. Is doing the balancing, is the one who's having the knowledge that he needs to have over your API keys, and is the one who's reading the information and send that information to the member. We call it the member dashboard. It's the one that you're logging in, where you can see the performance, you can see the billing, you can go through KYC by using the DG identity company. Of course, we have integration with our CRM as well. Yeah, and those are the four platforms that we are working with. So just to as a start diving into the strategies and the bots, we are guided by 3 principles. And when we choose the right bots, and we choose the bots that will trade, we follow three principles. The one, and very important, maybe most important one, is that we look into the maximum drawdown, or in a simple language, we call it the risk minimization per trade. So every bot has a percentage of how high risk this bot is willing to take, how much risk is willing to take, and we will be very critical by selecting the bots with a minimized maximum drawdown per trade. But we also want to choose those bots who can have good gains, of course, because that's why we are here. We are here to make money. That is another important thing. The last one that's very important is to find the balance between the number of trades and the fees that you are incurring in the exchange with the trade. So we will not choose bots that are trading too often. That when you choose a bot that trades too often, maybe you will have some gains, but you will also incur a lot of cost, and we don't want that. So we always look at the balance. The other thing that we are looking at, and that's the first thing we do, and that we're busy already 3 years doing that, we are looking at the right coins we want to generate bots for. And when we're looking at the bots, we're looking at the coins, we're looking at coins that behind them there's a company that make money, that there's a good user adoption, and there's a strong community around this coin. The product team, the product is strong, there's a good roadmap ahead of them, the team is strong. We looked at the tokenomics. There are different ways to assess the tokenomics, but we have a few sites we're working with in order to assess that. And of course, per exchange, we're also looking at the liquidity. Because if there's no liquidity for the coins, we cannot trade, and then there's a lot of slippage, etc., etc. Although we are trading with limit orders, still, if there's no liquidity, it's not going to work, at least not for all the wallets. And that we do per exchange. This is just a blueprint, how actually we generate the bots. We always start with a blueprint. We use the deep learning modules to run a lot of parameters until we come up with a selection of bots. In the first phase, there will be an AI model that will rate the bot, and then the ones that are getting high rate will be sent to us, to the team, and we will assess them. There are three parts. If you look at the bot, there is always a back-end training data, then there's a forward data, and there's the actual data. We go through those three steps before we qualify a bot. We do it with more people when we decide to qualify a bot, and only if it fits the strategy and it fits all the criteria we have decided upon, we add that into the strategy. We actually have three types of bot. Bot number one, we call it a deep discovery. And the most important thing you need to know about that one, that is very often able to identify the lowest point within the trend. So buy the dip. This bot can buy the dip very well. This is a chart of, I believe, Ethereum. And you can see that the disadvantage of this bot is that it doesn't trade so often. So it's very secure on the trading when it takes a long position. You'll see here the L, it means that he took a long position. The C, he took an exit position. Here he actually had a small loss trade. But moving forward, you see that it doesn't trade a lot. But if this one trades, this is a one-day time frame, it trades with a lot of confidence and usually winning trades. This is one thing that we're being asked a lot. It's about the stop loss, because if you need to exit the market during correction, you need to have a very tight stop loss. In this bot, we don't have a tight stop loss. So the expectation that this bot will take an exit position during market correction of 10 or 15% is not realistic. Another example for that bot is just a recent example, Lido. This is an A time frame, and this is actually bot does right now in the Turok position. You see that this bot does a lot of good trades, although I see one somewhere in January also had one lost trades. A few weeks ago, somewhere in the 20th of March, he took a position in Pennywell and he did 35% within a few days, and then he took profit. And then a few days afterward, he took again a position, a long position. And I think it's important to share, yeah, well, he took a good position, but he didn't think that there will be even no further market correction, and that what happened. So the last couple of days, we see even that the price declined more, although it's picking up again. This is a good example why this is not 100% waterproof. We are seeing the bottom, but the deep can be even deeper than what the bot think it is. Another example, it's the lithium. It's also in the rock right now. Again, it's a bot with 4 hours time frame, also a deep discovery one, and he actually identified, for now, he identified the bottom price very well, and it's picking up. I think it was 120 if I look at it, 121, and the bot is right now on, and the price is now on 122 or 3. So it's doing a good job on that. Another one is the Trend Rider, and the Trend Rider is a bot that usually works with mainly with moving averages, and it takes the time to enter a position, but when you enter a position, it usually will stay for a long time in a position. So it doesn't trade too often, but if it trades usually well. Is very suitable for this market condition, for this current market condition. I think this is a Solana one from maybe a week ago. Yeah, this is a Solana one. I'm also certain, and you see not too many trades, but when it trades well, and so right now in a position. Also, this one has a fairly wide stop loss. So also during correction, I don't expect this bot to take an exit position very fast unless there's a crash, and then of course the stop loss will be activated at some stage. This is a good one for a coin that is right now in position for a long time. Actually, since November 2023, STX is in position. It's doing great. It's a very good coin, very strong coin, second layer of Bitcoin, and has a very good trend, and it just stay on the trend until this trend won't be positive anymore. The last one is a fast bot, and the bot is based on volume. You see that this one is taking many positions. It trades very often, and it makes also more loose trades, like the one we see in February. This is an example of FTM. One of my favorite bots is this one. And you see it took a very good profit somewhere in 22nd of March, and since then he's not in position. And the idea is to take the 3 type of bots together, and we have an optimizer tool that help us to come up with the right composition. And that's the biggest USP, because we have a lot of good bots, but it's like a football team, and you have a football team, and Messi cannot win alone. He needs 11 players with it, and that's the way it works with the bot. So you need to find the right combination. First of all, the right coins, and then to select the right bots for the coins and have them in a specific strategy. This one has a very tight stop loss, so during market correction, those kind of bots will take an exit position pretty fast. And we saw that Avalanche, for example, took an exit position. And there are others that Filecoin took in Pennywell similar exit position, because they're all using this kind of they're all volume surge bots. This is another example of Arweave doing really well. Arweave, the coin itself, and we're using the volume surge bot. And I'm sure if you're into rock, you will be familiar with this one. Again, did pretty well. He had a couple of good trades the last couple of months, although also one time he had he had a loss trade, and that was somewhere in 18th of March. Behind the scene, this is how we, for example, have a list of all the FTM bots, and we can categorize them in different criteria and choose eventually based on the graphs we are seeing and based on a lot of other parameters. We qualified the bots, and we eventually add them to the strategy. This is how the funds manager looks, and this is a screenshot from this morning. You see that Duroc Bitvavo, it's per exchange, and it's still in position with Aave, STX, Solana, Lido, and Illivium, and is also with more or less 17% in euro. And there are other bots that are waiting to enter position. If you look at the right-hand side, you see colors. The colors, we call it the traffic lights, and they give us indication which bot is about to take a long position. So right now we see that the Link and Arbitrum and Ethereum and Rune wants to take a position, and we'll see if one of them in the coming hours or days will take a position, because there's still 16.7% euro left for them to take that position. This is another screenshot I took this morning from Berkshire. Berkshire is the top team. I see that you don't see all the coins, but that's just the top 10, and they are rebalanced every first of the month. They just rebalanced. Yeah, not so much to say about the index funds, because it's not powered by bots and just rebalanced every month. But this is, of course, part of our fund manager. So that was, for now, the presentation, and now we can move into the questions. So the questions you can write on here in the Q&A if you have any questions. No question at all. Yeah, I see questions. Okay. Add Hans, second Hans, Leroy, Michiel, Rob, Ron, Stein. Any questions you may have on what I just showed, or maybe other things that I didn't show? No. Let's see. Maybe there is one question. I see. Yeah. Okay. No question from my side. Thanks for getting some insight that that worked. Would love to, but no question for now. How is dashboarding? I'm not sure. Can you in results? How is dashboarding in results overall? I think the results are good. You can see it on the website, Leroy. You can see it on play mode, but we are also, I think it's important to mention, we are working on a long-term vision. That's why we're also not always, we're not doing day trading. And we keep on trying to improve. For example, we have a project now to improve the fast bots, because I personally think there's some improvement to do on the fast bots. But you could see in the last 3 months that even though the dominance, I always look at the dominance as a benchmark for me. Even though we looked at the dominance and it's still ranging between the 53 to 55% Bitcoin, we see that strategies like Duroc are even outperforming Bitcoin. I'm not sure if the last 2 days it's still the case, but it's still performing on the same level. And once the altcoin season will start, and for me it's below the 50%, maybe the 48% dominance, then I expect the altcoins and strategies like Duroc and Pennywell to perform very well. And the other thing is that's during good market sentiment, positive market sentiment like we see right now. During bear market or sideways market, we are likely to take exit positions and not to be entirely with 100% in long positions, which will mean that we'll be able to protect our users better than if you're on 100% and the coins lose 80 or 90% of the value. So that's it. Yeah, and the other question was asked by another session is how about taking profit? So yes, the funds is taking profit, and when it exit a position with a profit, it's great. What's important for you as a user is that you can always take profit as well. You can set up your management button temporarily out, off, and then you can take some profit if you think, well, it's my wallet is doing really well and I want to move some funds to euro or something else. So that's always an option, and I think it's important for you to be independently think about taking profit independently from what the strategies are doing with the bots. Okay, next question. Thanks for the presentation. If I look at the past 2 years, Duo compared to Berkshire, I see a very competitive. What then is the advantage of using active strategy compared to ETF-based approach? Thanks. I think it's a great question. I must say, and thank you that you're telling me. We actually launched a completely new generation of bots in July 2023, and I want always our members to look at as of somewhere between August and September 2023 and start looking at the performance then, because we actually launched the deep discovery and volume search somewhere in July. It takes, say, a month or two until we can start seeing the results, but the results are much more stable and stronger because we have many more type of bots. So yes, in the last 2 years, I don't think there is a big difference, but I think in the last 6 months and at least 3-4 months, we see already much better results of the active strategies. Is that a guarantee for the future? No, I cannot guarantee that. But we have made huge steps since July. So we are pretty certain that the active strategy in this market condition are working at least as well as Berkshire, because remember, Berkshire is 100% on long, and in a good market condition, positive market condition, or bull market condition, whatever you call it, there shouldn't be so much different because Berkshire is good enough. But maybe there will be if the coins are performing well, if one of the performance like Stack and stuff doing really, really well, or Arweave, yeah, then we will outperform Berkshire as well, Duroc. But during bear market condition and when you are on sideways, that's where Berkshire will stay 100% in long, and the active strategy will exit the position. So if you look at the longer time frame with a complete cycle of bear and sideways and bull, then I think overall you will see that Duroc and Pennywell and those strategies will perform better. But this is just my estimation. No trade in the bear market also mean no cost for user, profit for you? No. We are making profit only when you're making profit. No trades, I didn't say. I say less trade. I said that you will expect at least strategies like Hereford and Gascon that only trade on 1 or 2 coins. You will expect them to be maybe 50 or 60, 70% in exit in euro position, and maybe only a small part in position. If we are performing better than every month, yeah, then there will be some profit for us. But we're not making any money from trades anyway. So yeah, no, it's not the way we think actually. We want to make money if you make money, and if the bots won't trade if it's not needed to be traded, and if the market conditions are not appropriate enough to take a trade, then there won't be a trade, and that's why we deploy bots and not doing it ourselves. So I'm hoping I'm answering that question correctly. Any more questions? Okay, so thank you very much for the time. If you have more questions, feel free to ask Piggy, our AI model, and if not, just open a ticket and send us a message, and we will reply as soon as possible. Thank you, guys. I'm going to stop the recording.